Good morning. Welcome to Monday's edition of Hobby Evolution, episode 287, I think. I always get the numbers mixed up. 287. Back to work week, back to work. Um, Fun weekend. I split it up between hobby and other things, namely building my garden bed boxes. And when I say building, I mean basically putting a puzzle together, because I just bought the prefab wood boxes from Wayfair, and they're cut like a puzzle, and you just boom put them in. The only real labor I had to put in was pulling weeds out of the existing soil and moving the soil around, get the dirt. So I'm pretty sore this morning. I don't use those muscles. I don't use really any muscles. Work at a desk and I sort baseball cards. So that's the only muscles that get any work. What's up, Craig? Good morning. So I finished those off yesterday and grilled some burgers last night. So I didn't do anything hobby related yesterday. It turned out to be a beautiful day. It was cloudy in the morning. So actually when I was live yesterday morning, I thought, well, maybe it's going to rain all day and I'll just do cards, and it turned out to be a beautiful day. So I was able to get those garden boxes in. It was kind of a burden that was hanging over my head. Like, it's like, I really need to, because I'm going to have to plant soon. Within the next, usually around this time, I wait till the third week of May, because we still get some frost weather. Hopefully last week was the last of that. So at some point this week, head down to the nursery, get some stuff, and put that garden. Ken is on. What's up? Literally just finished watching yesterday's episode. Back to back, baby. What's up? I may have to stop watching your stuff, or at least when you do show recaps, I want to stop buying things to resell, and you're an enabler. Well, maybe today's show, maybe this morning, it'll help that. It'll stop the enabling, because I'm feeling a shift in the market, and we kind of touched on that on Saturday night's Hobby Roundtable. If you didn't catch that live Saturday night, check out Herman's channel, 3B Collection. So check out 3B Collection. We did a Hobby Roundtable on Saturday night, and Ken and Herman will be on live tonight on that channel, 7 p.m. Central, over at 3B Collection. So check that out. I will definitely be in. What's up, Zach? Good morning, George. So today I wanted to talk about, I'm feeling a shift in the card market. And I've actually felt this for maybe at least a month, maybe as far back as well, probably 6 weeks is max. But within the last 4 to 6 weeks, I've felt this shift, like the peak is like we've reached the peak, and now we're starting to see things normalize. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but definitely shift and maybe receding back to away from these crazy high peaks. And we touched on that on Saturday's Hobby Roundtable. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm feeling this. My own eBay store sales. I've seen the volume and I've seen the numbers fall. And originally I was attributing that to at the peak, I had like over 4,000 listings. I was up to like, I think when I was using File Exchange regularly, I was up to like at one point 4,200 listings in my eBay store. Then all of a sudden I'm making like 125 sales a day, and I couldn't, I was having a hard time keeping up. So now my store is down to like 3,100. So I was attributing the factor that, 25% of my inventory is gone. So that's obviously going to lead to a decrease in the numbers through clicks and the statistics through eBay. But at the same time, what's selling, what's not selling. I noticed a crazy drop in basketball sales, namely, my Hoops premium stock, which was a good like litmus test to testing the basketball card market. Who's hot? Because I may have I'm just going to throw a name out there. Grant, actually, I'm going to use Romeo Langford. A guy like Romeo Langford, where doesn't sell. All of a sudden, I start moving Romeo Langford cards, so I can kind of it's a great test to Romeo Langford must be doing something. What's going on? And then there's guys that just they're sitting, and not just players, role players, but Ja Morant is like it's like a bottoming out for Ja Morant. So I'm starting to see that, and that combined with what I saw Saturday in the Wisconsin Dells at the card show there, I mean, almost all of the bargain box tables had basketball, and not just junk, but rookies from the last couple of years. I bought I counted, it wasn't 2,000, so I paid a little more than a dime a card. There was 1,700 cards in the bulk buy that I bought. So I paid 12 cents per on those rookies, last 2-year rookie cards. I went to another table, bought 55 rookie cards of basketball from the last 2 years, and I got them for 5 cents a piece. Another table, 20 cents a piece. And we're talking like, Romeo Langford, Jordan Poole, Cam Reddish, Tabuli, Dumbuya, some of the guys that have sold in the past. I comped a couple, and I could sell them for a couple bucks right now. And, my average on all of them was like, I think 13 cents on average, my pay. So, definitely seeing that, that trickle down. I'm going to run to the chat before my next thought. George says there's certainly a shift. I was watching some stuff the other day where they were saying in the last week, baseball is down about 10%, basketball down 20%. Interesting. Zach says, thank God I want junk wax era cards to fall back to earth. Zach, my buddy Steve from Greeny Sport Cards, they had some, and that's the picture I showed on Twitter. They had great prices on junk wax. I'm trying to get them to the show here, one of my shows in Madison. The trick is they have, a pretty elaborate setup. So a one-day show may not work for them, but they do have return trips. They're based out of Cleveland, but they do have trips back to Wisconsin to pick up more of that junk wax from a huge collection they bought. So maybe we can time it out where they can do a Saturday show. So I'm really pushing them. They're great guys. I've known them for a couple of years now. We met at one of the Chicago Spectacular shows a few years ago. So I'm trying to get them, and they have, you probably saw the prices on their junk wax. So definitely good stuff below market. Ken says, I think we might be to a place where most of the speculation is preseason now. Basketball starts jumping in September, October. Excellent point, because right now we're in like the dog days of the season. So I think the playoffs are probably pretty close. So we're a month delayed. The season usually starts in November. We started December. So playoffs should be starting around now. I think I saw are most of the seeds for the NBA playoffs out now. I think most of the seeding is finished. So, or finished, but settled, I guess. So I think you're right, Ken. So on that point, I think we start to see a spike for basketball soon. I think we'll see right now. I think we're kind of, it's definitely down on basketball, but I think we'll see some movement up because of the playoffs, and somebody will get hot. And that's kind of the speculation I had for some of these rookies. Hey, if Romeo Langford or Jordan Poole or one of these guys gets hot during a playoff run, boom, their market, skyrockets. So I think we'll see a spike for individuals during the playoff run if somebody gets hot. But I think you're exactly right, because now we're at the end of the season, where this is where we see basketball drop off. End of the season into the off season, it's a buyer's market, and then all of a sudden, right before the season begins, it's hot. So I think you're right on point with that. The hobby may be more seasonal than it has been in the last 18 months. I would agree with that. Here's one thing, and to add to that is football. And I saw football football was hot at the show this weekend. Now, I'm not in, like, I don't do football cards at all. Like, I was ripping some retail this past season for the first time in years, just because it was a fun. I enjoy ripping, and I was stuck at home, and I live in Wisconsin. It's freaking cold. I'm just gonna stay home and watch football and open cards. So I got back into it, ripping some football retail, watching games. But aside from that, I don't follow the market at all. But Josh Allen, man, Josh Allen cards are hot. I heard a lot of buzz around Josh Allen cards at the card show on Saturday, and football was a buzz. George says, I think some of the raw singles is probably raised grading prices and not accepting at cheaper levels. So now a lot of those folks are losing steam. Definitely. And I think a part of the slab mania, I mentioned yesterday that like 90% of the tables had slabs. I think that's leading to like a drop in, I think all of the people focused on slabs. If it's a raw card not worth submitting because it's not going to gem, it's going into the quarter box when it could be like, and I mean, even my quarter boxes, there's $3, $4, $5 cards in there. And that's just because I don't have time to list and ship on those right now at this point. But, you know, once winter comes, I'm going to go through my quarter boxes and sift through, hey, you know, I can put this on eBay. So I think a lot of the people focused on slabs are discounting their raw cards because they may not gem. So, hey, I'm just going to put them in the 25-cent box. So Brad says, let's see what happens in the next day or two on the basketball playoffs. That's what I was thinking. You know, we'll see somewhat of a movement. And I think it'll be more individual movement for basketball during the playoffs. You know, like we saw 2 years ago with TJ Warren. You know, his price has, you know, spiked. What's up, Diego? Good morning. Is it bad that I want the Sixers to win for my fandom, but for my new Embiid collection, if they lose, his cards will be a lot lower? There you go. There's always, yeah. You know, hey, that's the thing. In 2016, Cubs stuff was just insane. And now it's like, you know, you can buy, and you know, Chris Bryant stuff. Even now, Chris Bryant stuff is on sale. I mean, stuff is starting to rise because he's having a much better season, but there was a big discount on stuff just because they've missed the playoffs, they've underperformed, have not been good. What's up, Dan? Good morning. Dan says he put my 3 Top Shot up for sale. Nothing big. Hope to get my money back. And Dan brings up a great point about Top Shot. I'm seeing like no movement on my Top Shot moments. I've made my money back on the few packs that I've bought. But I've got some stuff like I pulled a Domantas Sabonis like low number Cool Cat insert, and you know when I reached out and asked a few people when I pulled it, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's over $100 moment," and so I put it up for 100, didn't sell. Dropped it to 75, didn't sell. Dropped it to 50, didn't sell. It's at $25, and it's still sitting in my store. So it's just kind of a gamble for me, and I'm just gonna leave that money in there, and you know, if I you know get enough pull out. But yeah, Top Shot has definitely dropped off crazy. George said he saw some folks seriously talking about sending in some dollar cards at the 300 Super Express. I hope they do. Ooh, I don't know. Wow, why would you want to do that? Like, I guess I get the mindset where, well, it's going to be the only one, but there's got to be demand. Like, scarcity doesn't equal demand. So, like, while yes, your dollar card graded a 9 or a 10, there may not be any others out there. You know, take for what, you know, whatever this new release is. Like, yeah, you can get back a PSA 10. You know, whoever rookie. It's scarce. It's pop one, but is there demand for it? And especially is there demand to get your 300 back? That's a gamble. That's That's a gamble I would not take. But I'm not a grader either. So I don't know the market. So maybe I'm not going to discount that theory because I've discounted others that I've been way wrong about. So who knows? Herman said a big jump on Freeman's this weekend. George, because they think that every big name common, if graded at 10, is going to be huge. I actually sold a Deshaun Watson card this weekend. Yeah, football's on the rise. Football, and I think going back to was it George or Ken that said the offseason? I think it was Ken. Yeah, Ken said it earlier in the chat where, it's the preseason hype, and we're starting to see that preseason hype, and I don't know the latest news on Deshaun Watson. I know he was like, he went from here to like the lowest of lows, and now I don't know where, legally, where that whole thing is at. But we're seeing that preseason hype for football, and I was like, I'm just going to go back to Saturday, my experience Saturday, the hype around football, the super high end basketball. Baseball was like a just an afterthought. And here we are a month, 6 weeks into the season, and it was like, I had to look far and wide to find baseball bargain boxes. It was mostly basketball, which was insane. And losing my train of thought here, but the super high end, and Ken brought this up on Saturday night, where we're not seeing the market like we're not seeing a bubble burst or anything like that, but we're starting to see things starting to take shape, because and what I mean by that is 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, everything was hot. Junk wax boxes, singles, whether it's a quarter card, dollar card, high end, retail, like everything was hot. Everything was selling at record prices. Now we're starting to see, and Ken brought this up Saturday, now we're starting to see people, Ken said it much more eloquently, but people are taking their lanes, and we're starting to see the focus on certain things. So, I think what we're going to see is, and I mentioned to Zach about the junk wax boxes, where Greeny had those great prices on junk wax boxes comparatively to other prices, where like a 1990 Topps baseball wax box sells for $50. Now, 2 years ago, I'd take a hobby box of 90 Topps to a card show, slap a $5 sticker, and it wouldn't sell. So are we going to see, I don't think the $50 price is going to last on 90 Topps. Is it going to drop back to $5? I don't think so. I think it's going to settle somewhere in the middle. Josh Allen, yes, the Bills quarterback. Although I'm excited for Justin Fields, similar to Lou Bob, it makes it harder for Porter to score those cards. Yeah, there's going to be a big market for Justin Fields. Bo, would you pay $10 for a 1984 Fleer J. Johnstone umbrella hat in a PSA 10? Yes, I would. Just because of the Bracabella that he's wearing. If it was, say, for example, a 1985 Fleer J. Johnstone PSA 10, I may actually, even though I'm not a slab collector, for $10, that's a decent deal. In like an 84 Fleer with the Bracabella, I would probably pay $20. So yeah, I would definitely do that. Brad said, any Bowman first in the $3 boxes at the show? Brad, I did not see any 2021 Bowman, at least that I saw. I didn't see any 2021 Bowman. The only I didn't, I'm trying to think if the first booth I went to was definitely the best booth, and I don't think I pulled out any. I pulled a couple of Cub first Bowman Chromes. So some random stuff, but nothing like, there wasn't like rows of first Bowmans or anything like that. The only booth that had like a bunch of Bowman, and I talked about this yesterday, was a booth. It was like everything was $1, and they had boxes and boxes and boxes. But and I think I don't know if I talked about this on Saturday night or yesterday morning, but I can take a pile when I'm at a bargain box. I can look through a few piles and realize I'm wasting my time because there's not going to be anything good. It's super cherry picked, and they'll have, like, for example, this dollar table. Everything was $1. There was a lot of people sorting through cards. They had some stuff next to them, so there may have been good stuff, but they had it hidden amongst garbage. Like, and I'll go back to the Bowman. They had 2020 Bowman base veterans, not even sleeved, in $1 box. Like $1 for a Miguel Cabrera 2020 Bowman base card. Not even in a sleeve. And I talked about Saturday night. If I'm in $1 box, I want dollar cards to be top loaded. And I know the price of top loaders is insane right now. But you can still, and I just bought a flat rate box of used top loaders, and I got them for 9 cents a piece. And I've been finding those. I've bought, I think I've got 3 boxes next to me. I bought 3 medium flat rate boxes through Facebook groups, and I think the most I paid per was 10 or 11 cents. So you can still get those cheap top loaders. But I kind of see it as dime cards can leave them raw. Quarter cards should be sleeved, dollar cards and top loaders. So that's kind of what I'm on the lookout for. And when I saw that, I actually heard, I was at a table with, they actually had a bunch of like cheap slabs, and I was looking, it was actually a bunch of Cardinals. I think the guy was from like Arkansas or Memphis, the dealer was. So it must have been a Cardinals fan. And it was like, they had $5 slabs, but it was like 2008 Bowman Chrome, some guy that topped out at single A. So I didn't find any Cubs, but I overheard the guys next to me talking about, they're selling base Bowman for $1, and I'm like, that's garbage. And then I saw the booth, and I'm like, that's what they were talking about. So I did kind of poke around and checked out a few of the boxes, but it was like junk. And I don't want to spend hours sifting through. Like, I want to kind of poke through. And if I see something that stands out, if I see a first Bowman or a parallel or, newer stuff, yeah, I'm definitely going to grab it. And I think, the thing is, because the booth I was at is actually the card shop that I go, and I've actually found some great first Bowmans. So Brad, to go back to your question, yes, I did. So it wasn't like a bunch, but I did find a Cole Tucker first chrome refractor. There was also, I found an Aroldis Chapman first Bowman base. So yeah, there were some first Bowmans. I bought 10 Jose Abreu first Bowman papers. They were $1 a piece. So I did find some. Kin says, everyone check eBay. I just opened the site and have a 5% eBay bucks offer. Oh, nice. I wonder if that's going to be like standard throughout, where like in the past, it's only been, certain open to certain members. Yep, I got it. eBay bucks ends 519. So yes, I have a 5% eBay bucks also. Zach says his pricing was great compared to now. When I first got back into it, I could get boxes at the LCS for 10, 15, 20 is about right for Junk Wax era. Damn, I have the wrong Josh. I have Rosen. There was a lot of Josh Rosen in the bargain bins. Diego, that is like pulling a Greg Briley and not a Griffey. Oh, man, I remember Greg Briley. 90 Topps Gold Cup. Dan hoping to land a low serial 2021 Tier 1 Burley auto in the next day. Very nice. So there we go. I got a work message coming in. New Mexico to Idaho. Okay. Ken says, I assume eBay does statistical analysis on what weeks are low volume weeks, and we'll pick those as Bucks weeks going forward. I think you're right. I think you're definitely onto something, where it's definitely, it's not random whatsoever. There's definitely a method behind their madness in offering those eBay bucks. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for the great chat. Awesome stuff. Ken and Herman will be on tonight on 3B Collection channel on YouTube. So check that out, 7 p.m. Central. Brad coming up next on his channel, Texas Card Dude, at about 8. Have a great Monday, and we'll chat tomorrow.